Welcome to the VST channel. In today's video we are going to explore the history of BlackBerry. Why are BlackBerry so important? Well, I do believe that they had a huge impact on modern smartphone. So it's really important to understand where they're coming from, what they did, and why it's important to remember BlackBerry. This video is going to be the story on BlackBerry, the impact that BlackBerry had on the modern smartphone market. BlackBerry was co-founded by two friends, Mike Lazaridis and Douglas Reagan. They started the RIM, the Research in Motion, back in 1984. First, they started to produce modems and pagers, but eventually they created the BlackBerry. And at some point, the BlackBerry phones became America's preferred smartphone. They were very secure and they were also providing nice functionality. But sadly, as the history showed, by 2016 BlackBerry was not able to compete with Apple iPhone and with the emerging Android phones. They had to suspend its mobile business and to focus on doing something else, which is actually what they do today, cybersecurity. They own QNX software, which is used in IoT devices including washing machines, refrigerators, many cars, and etc. But how did this all start? Let's explore the history of BlackBerry. Mike Lazaridis and Douglas Reagan were friends when they founded RIM, Research in Motion, in 1984. Lazaridis was studying electrical engineering at the Canadian University of Waterloo and they only were able to rent a small office. Their original idea was to create a computer consulting firm for businesses on software issues. But in 1988 they started to develop the first system in North America that would allow wireless payment processors and pagers to seamlessly transmit wireless data. This is really what they became famous for. RIM's wireless system attracted a lot of attention, and also the one from a Harvard graduate named Jim Balsey. Balsey fell in love with RIM's technology and he remortgaged his house to invest $125,000 in the company. Mike and Douglas invited him on board and Balsey joined the team as a co-CEO. And in 1996, RIM introduced the first pager, RIM Interactive Pager 900. It was one of the world's first two-way pagers, which means that it can send but also receive data. It had QWERTY keyboard and also email and fax capability. It's interesting how they came to use the BlackBerry, but it's because the RIM's branding department thought of the keyboard reminding them of some strawberry seeds and they were starting to experiment with vegetables and fruits, so at the end they decided, hey, this device case is black, so it's gonna be the BlackBerry, and this is how this iconic brand name was born. 1 year later, in 1997, RIM went public on the Toronto Stock Exchange. The initial public offering raised over $115 million. Now let's take a close look at the golden years of BlackBerry that lasted between 1999 and 2011. In 1999, RIM announced a new wireless service in North America that could sync up the email accounts on BlackBerry devices in real time. This was a huge thing, and sales that year shot up almost to 85 million, 80% increase. Later that year, BlackBerry introduced the 850 series, a wireless handheld device that was using the new service to automatically receive emails. The 850 series had a full QWERTY keyboard and a scrolling DAG for scrolling. This was a revolution back in the days and it was used by almost everybody in the business. BlackBerry were also very good in marketing and raising popularity. The CEO Balsey was traveling around the world, he was giving out free BlackBerries at conferences, and in 2000 RIM revenue hit 221 million. So at this point of time, BlackBerry devices were widely adopted by finance people, IT people and all around the globe. In 2002, it was finally time for RIM to release a modern smartphone, or at least this is how the BlackBerry 5810 looked. It had the 2G internet access, wireless email syncing, and of course you also could have made phone calls using a headset. This year, Research in Motion passed the 1 million subscriber mark, and few years later in 2007 it would hit 9 million. The next few years were very good for RIM as they continued to expand and grow on the global smartphone market. They of course released new products with new capabilities, the BlackBerry Pearl, the Curve and also the famous BlackBerry Bold. The Pearl reinvented the pre-touchscreen device navigation. It included a tiny trackball mouse. It was very useful by the users to navigate. The Curve improved the camera and the display resolution, and it was really perceived as a groundbreaking innovative device. It also had a wider keyboard and was easier to use. The BlackBerry Bold was a luxury series device. It has Bluetooth, the option to get a micro SD by expansion, and also a vinyl back. By 2008, RIM had over 30% of the smartphone market inside the US, and it was coming on the second place internationally, just behind Nokia. This was also the point of time they reached their highest stock price, $146 per share. That same year, Apple announced the release of a new mobile device. It's called the iPhone, and you can imagine what happens from there. The iPhone came with a touchscreen, and it was very famous for being one of the first devices to drop the physical keyboard. At first, RIM execs thought the iPhone looked a bit childish. They decided to ignore the iPhone exactly in the same way Microsoft did, and as history shows, that was probably not one of their best decisions. The revolution has started, and later in 2008, BlackBerry decided to surrender to the touchscreen, and they released the BlackBerry Storm, which had a clickable touchscreen and no physical keyboard. Customers were not so happy. They unleashed a wave of complaints. Users didn't like the keyboard disappearance, and they were frustrated by the fact that there were so limited applications compared to what you'll find on an iPhone. Many people felt the BlackBerry OS was really inferior to the Apple's. 1 year later, in 2010, Research in Motion launched the BlackBerry Torch, which was really a hybrid smartphone because it had a physical keyboard and a touchscreen. The Torch sold only 150,000 in 3 days, but then slowly declining popularity, and you all know what happened to the iPhone. Research in Motion kept growing on pure momentum for a while, as their sales were really not that bad in the first few years of the iPhone, reaching 2011 when they reached the revenue peak of almost 20 billion. But after this, it really went up downhill. BlackBerry users were switching to iPhones, switching to Android phones, and RIM executives began to worry. The next 10 years were very hard for BlackBerry and RIM. By January 2012, RIM's market value was down by 75%. The existing CIOs Lazaridis and Balsi had to step down, and they had to appoint Thorsten Heinz being the new CIO, a colleague that has been working with them for the last 7 years. In 2013, Heinz oversaw various earth-shaking changes to RIM. He decided to change the name of the company from RIM to BlackBerry, hoping that this will put BlackBerry back on the table and in the customer's face. That very same year, 2013, BlackBerry also released 2 new smartphones, the Z10 and then the Q10. But they had their own share of controversies. Both ran on the brand new OS, the BlackBerry 10. The Z10 had a touchscreen but no physical keyboard, and the Q10 had both. You can imagine the controversies and the confusion that this caused with existing BlackBerry customers. Sadly, this accelerated the downfall. In November 2013, Thorsten Heinz had to step down as the CEO, being replaced by a top Silicon Valley executive named John Chen. This same year closed with Android consolidating over 50% of global smartphone market and Apple climbing to 35%. 3 years later, in September 2016, after a few more attempts, BlackBerry decided that's enough. The company announced it would no longer develop any new smartphones. Instead of that, they will focus now only on creating cybersecurity software. And so, the smartphone fairy tale for BlackBerry ended, but they began developing commercial encryption software. In 2017, BlackBerry acquired also state approval to market its software to government agencies and offices. Some years later, in January 2022, it was the end for the BlackBerry smartphones. They announced that they will decommissioning all the operating systems of all its legacy smartphone and tablets. But BlackBerry really focused on their next new thing, which is security. In the beginning of the video, I started with the fact that it's very important to know the history of BlackBerry because of the huge impact they had and still probably have on the smartphone business and smartphone market. Let's talk about some of the inventions that really came true to life during BlackBerry reign. Copy and paste for mobile devices. Also, push notifications from mobile devices, which is something that we have right now everywhere. Mobile devices with physical LED indicator notifications. Right now this is gone, but a lot of users still miss this functionality. And also guys, frictionless scrolling that eventually allowed everybody to move away from the scroll dial to the touchscreen scroll. And not to say mobile instant messaging. So BlackBerry was instrumental into charting the new way for Apple, for Samsung, for Xiaomi, and for all the other phones out there to become really the smartphone of the future that we have right now. I really hope that you have enjoyed watching this video, guys. If that's the case, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for the channel, and come back for more. VST over and bye.